Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Rumana with your histology practical on cochlea and organ of Corti. Now, starting with the cochlea, it is an osseous canal that spirals around the modulus, which is a cone-shaped structure, and it is composed of spongy bone. The osseous spiral lamina is a shelf of bone which projects from the modulus and it pursues a spiral course around it, like as the thread of the screw which spirals around its stem. Now, when we take the transverse section of these coils, we find that there is present membranous labyrinth, which is called as the cochlear duct or the scala media. And this scala media is triangular in shape. You should know about that where the scala media is extending. Its apex of this triangle rests on the osseous spiral lamina, while the base is in contact with the lateral bony wall of the osseous labyrinth. This perilymphatic space of the cochlea is divided into two canals. One is above and one below the cochlear duct. The upper one is called as the scala vestibuli and the lower one is called as the scala tympani. And both of these canals is filled with perilymph, and their walls consist of connective tissue which is covered by simple squamous epithelium. Now, at the apex of the cochlea, the scala vestibuli and scala tympani, they communicate with each other through a narrow canal which is called as the helicotrema. The scala media is separated from the scala tympani by the basilar membrane. This membrane is composed of collagen fibers and it stretches between the osseous spiral lamina and the spiral crest. It is covered by simple squamous epithelium. On the upper surface of the basal membrane is present the spiral organ of Corti. And the boundary between the scala media and the scala vestibuli is formed by the vestibular membrane. The other name for it is the Resner's membrane, which consists of a very thin layer of connective tissue, and this connective tissue is covered on both sides by means of simple squamous epithelium. The periosteum over the osseous spiral lamina is thickened and it bulges into the cochlear duct as the limbus spiralis. The lower part of this limbus is continuous with the basilar membrane. Now, the lining epithelium over the cochlear duct, it varies according to the location. The epithelium over the vestibular membrane is of simple squamous variety, while over the limbus, it varies in height from low columnar to cuboidal cells. Now, laterally, the epithelium is pseudo-stratified columnar and it is underlain by the vascular connective tissue. This vascular area is known as the stria vascularis and it is responsible for the secretion of endolymph. Laterally, the epithelium is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium and it is underlain by the vascular connective tissue. This region is called as the stria vascularis, which is responsible for the secretion of endolymph. Now, there are also present the cells of Claudis. Most of the basilar membrane is covered by a specialized epithelium which forms the organ of Corti. The organ of Corti is present on the entire length of the basilar membrane. It is composed of number 1 neuroepithelial cells, number 2 supporting cell, and number 3 is the tectorial membrane. Now, coming over to the neuroepithelial cell, they are present as inner hair cells and outer hair cells. The inner hair cells are located close to the limbus spiralis, while the outer hair cells are located farther from the limbus spiralis. On top of these hair cells, there is present a gelatinous material which is called as the tentorial membrane. Now we'll discuss each of these hair cells separately. The inner hair cells, they form a single row of cells along the entire length of basilar membrane. Now, what are the shape of the cells? The cells are short cylindrical cells showing a centrally located nuclei. Their apical surface bears about 50 to 60 stereocilia, and these are supported by the supporting cells which are called as the inner phalangeal cell. Now coming over to the outer hair cells, they are present in the form of 3 to 5 rows of cell along the entire length of the basilar membrane. The shape of the cell is that they are elongated and cylindrical cells with a basal located nucleus, and they are supported and surrounded by the outer phalangeal cell, while their apical surface bear the about 100 stereocilia. So note down the shape of the cells, the number of the stereocilia on their surface, their location on the basilar membrane. The supporting cells which are present in the organ of the corte can be named as inner and outer pillar cells, inner and outer phalangeal cells, cells of the Hansen, and inner border cells. Now you should be knowing the shape of these cells. The inner and outer pillar cells are tall columnar cells that lie next to the inner hair cells. Each pillar has got an expanded base and a tapering elongated body. And the apical end of each pillar cell is expanded, which is called as its head. The head of the inner cell is also bearing a small concavity. Now the outer phalangeal, outer pillar cells, they are actually fitting into this space of the inner cell, and the space between the inner and outer pillar cell is called as the inner space, while the inner and outer phalangeal cells that are actually supporting the inner hair cells. The inner phalangeal cells are supporting the inner hair cells, and the outer phalangeal cells, they are supporting the outer hair cells. The shape of the inner phalangeal cell is flower shape, and their basal part contains the nucleus, and they are resting on the basilar membrane, while the apical part of each inner phalangeal cell is completely surrounds the inner hair cells. The outer phalangeal cells is a tall columnar cell that is also resting on the basilar membrane. Its basal part contains the nucleus, and while its apical part is cup shaped, and it supports the basal part of the outer hair cells. Now coming over to the cells of the Hansen, the shape of the cell, they are tall columnar cell, and they are present adjacent to the outermost row of the outer phalangeal cell. The narrow space between them is called as the outer tunnel. Now make it clear that the outer tunnel is present near the cells of Hansen and the outer phalangeal cells, and while the inner and outer pillar cells, they are the space between them is the inner tunnel. Now the inner border cells, they are present in the form of 3 to 4 rows of cell, and at the inner border of the organ of corte, and they are cuboidal in shape. The tectorial membrane. The tectorial membrane is an acellular gelatinous layer that overlies the organ of corti, and it is actually made up of two types of glycoproteins. They are called as the autogelin and the tectorin, and the two types of collagen fibers, that is the type 2 and type 5. As I've already told you that in the gelatinous material are embedded the inner and outer hair cells. This tectorial membrane is attached medially to the modulus, while laterally it is got a free margin which extends over the organ of corte. This actually completes your cochlea and the organ of corte, and you have already listened it in the lecture also. This is actually the microscopic picture of cochlear duct and the organ of Corti. As you are seeing it under low power, and it is a label diagram. You have to draw it in this manner, that you will have to draw the bony spiral laminus vessels, cochlear duct, then the tectorial membrane, hair cells, spiral ligament over there, the basilar membrane, organ of Corti. You will have to draw a separate diagram of organ of Corti also, the scala media and the scala vestibuli and scala tympani. So this is how actually the cochlear duct appears under the microscope. This is the microscopic detailed diagram of the cochlea or the cochlear duct, and showing the scala media along with the organ of Corti, which is resting on the basilar membrane. You should have a clear concept of it, and you will have to draw it also in this manner. This is the microscopic appearance of the organ of Corti. You can see the spiral ligament on it, the outer phalangeal cells, the inner phalangeal cells, the inner pillar cells, outer pillar cell, tectorial membrane, and the inner and outer tunnel. So you have to draw two proper diagrams showing the cochlear duct along with the organ of Corti and the organ of Corti separately. And you will have to write all these, label it very much properly and complete your assignment till Friday. This completes your practical on cochlea and organ of Corti.